Hello guys, welcome to my tutorial. Here I teach different sewing methods. How to make a jetted pocket with flaps. If you want a unique way to make a pocket, watch this tutorial until the end. It's natural that at the beginning of your studies, you will find it difficult and you just have to repeat it until you master it. Draw jetted lines on the fabric that will be used for the jetted pocket. It's up to you what size you want to make the pocket. Then put it in the correct place of the jetted pocket. Just a reminder, guys, at each end of what you are sewing, make sure to lock it so that your pockets are not easily damaged. I made this video to help you until you learn sew. If you also want to learn how to make a pattern and so on, you can visit my channel demo tutorial. There are many more videos that can be helpful for you. And since what we are going to do is double lips or jetted, we have to go through the other side as well. Just lock it properly to be sure. Cut it in the middle and reduce at least 1/8, so that the lip pocket is not tight, and that is the right way to make a jetted pocket. Just follow what you see there, just make sure it's neat and clean. Rub with a fingernail to flatten the lip properly, and run a few machine stitches and ensure the correct size and shape of the pocket mouth. That's the same, just repeat what you did the first time. The initial stitching should be infrequent, so that you don't struggle. After you have sewed it, cut the stitch you sewed into pieces for easier removal from the cleaner. Then go through a few stitches a second time for a good result. And just like you did the first time, cut it to make it easy to clean the lip of the pocket. Also, the initial stitching should be done infrequently, so that you don't have difficulty cleaning. Take good care of the jetted stitching, so that the two lips look equal and the same. Then turn the fabric over and lock the jetted pocket with a stitch. Don't forget to cut the initial seam on the pocket until you get used to it and are disciplined in your work. Reduce the fusible cloth so that it does not thicken when finished. Cut it well if it is enough. The next thing you will do is the final locking of the lip of the bubble. Sew it with a seam and make sure that the locking is done properly at each end of it. Anyway, what you did on one lip, you should also reduce that one lip so that your work does not thicken. The initial seam still needs to be cut to pieces to clean it. Now it's time to split the pocket down the middle. Always take care to cut and divide in the middle, so as not to damage the pocket you made. Similar to what I'm doing, I cut it with the utmost care. After you divide it on the other side, cut it carefully on the other side as well. Be careful when cutting each corner of the pocket to avoid damaging your pocket After turning the edges of the pocket inside out, rub to flatten the edges of the pocket. It helps a lot to beat it before you stitch it. Clean up the dangling threads. Before locking the seam, it helps if you remember to tap it first, before sewing. Make sure it's neat before sewing it. Just have a little patience, guys, you will learn to. The same on the other end of the pocket. Make sure it's neat before sewing. Make sure that you are doing well from the beginning to the end. You will definitely see the good results of what you are doing. That's it, guys, just follow what you see in the video. We will soon finish making the jetted pocket with flaps. Okay, after we sew the lock stitching, remove the initial stitches and clean. Now our jetted pocket is finished. Next we will make flaps. Use a pattern of flaps and draw on the fusible cloth. After cutting and gluing by ironing it, the jetted pocket and flaps must be the same size, so that the pocket will turn out well. If there are too many flaps you made, you should reduce them so as not to overdo it. Use a thin fabric for the bottom, so that your flaps don't end up being thick. After sewing around, just be careful of curves or circles to get the right shape. When it comes to the corner, it will be more helpful if you trap it as much as possible to get the good point of it. After finishing the flaps, measure the correct width according to your preference, and then insert the flap into the jetted pocket. If you are not yet experienced, it is better to put basting to avoid changing the location of its flaps. After applying the basting, sew the flaps to lock it. Next is the placement of the pocket bag. Use a pin if necessary to prevent your pocket bag from being uneven. Now lock your pocket with a stitch. Use a thicker layer to keep the flap from moving during sewing. Cut off the excess fabric to clean the pocket. Sew the pocket bag with a sewing needle, after cutting the excess fabric again for a clean look. On the other side, sew and cut the excess fabric to look clean. Okay guys, we're done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share, so we can help others who want to learn this method. Thank you very much.